Testing, testing, one, two, three. Hopefully you guys are able to hear that now, switching over microphones. Welcome to this week's Tiki Tuesday adventure. I am CM Oda here, hanging out in Classic Server. Okay, I can see the chat. I can see you guys are all here. Please let me know if your music's too loud or my audio's too loud, and I will be happy to make the corrections. I'd like to thank a bunch of our streaming friends, including CH Pen. Looks like a bunch of our live streaming guys are hosting us now, so thank you very much for that. Definitely appreciated. So this is our weekly show where I answer questions from the community, kind of talk about what's going on this week, keep you guys in the loop. So kind of the big thing that's going on this week is the Thor server, the server that's been created for accounts to migrate from PRO if they opted into our program to be migrated over to this new server, and so that may be up very, very soon. We're sort of finishing up testing, making sure all the items work, and we're kind of sorting out the issues with items that PRO has that we don't have, and vice versa, removing items that were on that list of items that won't be making the jump between PRO and IRO, and basically a lot of testing. So this week's maintenance is going to be pretty light on Classic and Renewal. We want to make sure that the launch goes as smooth as possible, so we'll have bigger stuff for you guys next week. CH Pen says, that is a good shirt, FYI. Thank you. I picked this up at a place called Bailey's Hawaiian Shirts in Oahu. It's not far away from Honolulu, and they've got a ton of rare or vintage Hawaiian shirts. So this is one that I spotted over there, fell in love with the pattern, and brought it back here to the mainland. Unfortunately, they were out of the Magnum PI red Hawaiian shirt, so that was a bit of a bummer, because it looks like their business has thrived and survived since the 1980s, based on those alone. So that's very cool. All right, let's see. But for this week, one of the big things that is coming in is we're adding in a bunch of cards that were not included in the last go-around. Wow, we actually have multiple people. I think, let's see. Okay, Yenko is hosting. Right now, Zlevan is actually doing some live streaming, so you guys can have more than one live stream open at one time. In fact, let me. So if you guys are live streaming while we're doing kind of a mainstream here, I'll put it in the background. So you should definitely be watching their stuff too. There we go. All right. But yeah, I definitely appreciate everybody who has been streaming the game, whether it be Classic or Renewal. It really helps us sort of get out there that our game is, that we're still around, that we still have people who care enough about it to be doing live streaming and running fun events or doing dungeons. It just lets people know what kind of stuff's in there. and it's usually stuff that I'm no good at being able to portray, like showing what an average woe is like, or high-level endless tower runs. So I think people who are watching definitely appreciate that, and it has helped our registration numbers as well. So uh, that has not gone unnoticed. Oops. Okay, there we go. I think that should work. Soy Milk 122 says, I've been having a blast streaming lately. Thanks for the Twitter shoutouts. Yeah, no problem. I'm definitely, it just pops up on my 1+1 here, and probably can't see it, but this one is from Yenko, who says, playing by night again is probably the most fun I've had in a long time. Here he is 11 years ago. So, yeah, I'll be happy to, as long as you're running IRO live streams, happy to get the word out, and, direct people over to you. It's also, the Play Ragnarok Twitter wasn't exactly super active before we started doing this. So it's kind of another thing for us to sort of use to publicize the game. And, it's tough to afford marketing stuff, but this is sort of free things that we can do that does help to get the word out. Alligator says, Oda, why are you not wearing a hat? If you're not wearing a hat, then you're not actually playing RO. That is true. The only thing is that if I'm wearing a hat, unless it's sort of like a military or baseball style cap, I can't really wear the headphones, but maybe next week. With the lighting, we still have to figure out if that's going to cast all kinds of shadows. I'm going to end up looking like Dark Man or something like that. Yenko24 says, it honestly has been a blast. Haven't had fun with RO like this in a very long time. Getting great to know everyone and running some fun parties. Alligator says, it's okay, Oda. You can substitute a hat with a ribbon instead. That is true. Maybe I could get like a Solid Snake bandana going or something like that. Now, in game, I think on this character, nope. Do I have a Kafra card? No. Ugh, that bad, huh? Do I have any characters on this account that have hats? Alright, so for this week, Quanta Starflyer asks, so the question on everybody's minds, how badly are we allowed to grow the GMs? This is something where when you have Jon Stewart bring on Obama, he's not going to be asking about like Benghazi and stuff like that, Like, these are questions that we can ask through our contacts, or they can maybe give kind of a PR response to, but it's going to be a little difficult for the more combative questions to get uh, much traction on that. Like the thing is, we're not cornering them in a room and like locking them in. Like, you got to answer these questions, otherwise it's going to be like Taken 2 here. And you can't really get up with that. But there are some questions that are kind of like, what do you see for the future of the server? Are you planning to reevaluate the class balance in the future? Like, these are things that are more likely for the head of a studio, the head of the RO studio, to be able to answer. The more technical questions, like what can you do about latency, what can you do about bots, these are things that might, the projects will come across his desk, I'm sure, but it might not be something that he's directly working on. So, plus the issue with bots and latency is those are not necessarily problems that a server with everybody who registers, it goes through a social security number. Everybody who registers is probably playing just from that country. So there are things that are more of an issue on our server than theirs. So certainly we have made it clear that there are problems for us and that we would like fixes and things like that. But yeah, as Innovishari says, these are the things you shunt to Section 9. So our local volunteer dev group has, we're doing what we can to give them the resources they need and the information they need to make it more difficult for botters. Certainly, we've already seen the outcomes of this with the improvements to the no spam, which is absolutely unique to International Ragnarok Online. Alligator asks, will there be any hardware upgrades for the server anytime soon? One of the things that we've requested from Caro is it would be a change to the way that data is organized and stored. So we've put the proposal, pretty detailed proposal together. If the proposal would be put in, it would be something that would likely improve the it would reduce the amount that the server has to talk with the game, kind of the back and forth, which would hopefully have a positive improvement on the latency conditions. Another thing is that the servers themselves are only able to take advantage of a certain amount of hardware. They're designed for single or dual core processors, but we have many more than that now. So, getting the game to be able to recognize that, being able to run the game on fewer, to take more advantage of the hardware, is something that we are pushing for. It's a difficult undertaking. That would be a lot of work underneath the hood, but the proposal that we sent would allow us to run the game on fewer servers, so it seems like it would be faster performance for everybody, more cost effective for us, and it would be a great improvement across the board. But definitely a difficult thing to do. Alright, so let's get to the questions. So for this week, it was found in the Bahuka Tiki Lounge. Rob Riggle is kind of the theme for today. Alright, the first question we have for this week is from... By the way, Oda, I hope lags will lessen, because even in Chaos we're experiencing it. The issue of there being a ton of characters, skills, homunculi, monsters, all this stuff is being tracked, and kind of the information, there's a bottleneck here, and unfortunately it seems like that is probably a big source of latency. Will there be any items or costumes that can replace auras a player has, like level 99 175 auras? Not at this time, but I believe that was a project that Section 9 might actually be able to do something with. Okay, first question we have for this week is from Zero Tigers, who asked, why are event spawns this year so out of whack? First the octopus spam, then the snake spam. What's next to get spammed on the world maps to hinder players? Usually the spawns are really low coming from Keros, so I mean in some cases we've had to actually beef them up once they got to our servers, but the last one we got was pretty spammy. I can't really speak for the snake spam, it's just based on whatever we had in that previous time. Beata asks, can you look into Nightmare Clock Tower spawn rate? It's called Nightmare for a reason. Spawn looks so little to the size of the map. See Tower 3. It's supposed to have 110 big bells, but if it's true, then the map is way too big for that amount. Yeah, what we can do is request the current spawn amounts for that dungeon, or we could probably just make a tweak to it ourselves next week. This week we're gonna try to get the new spotlight in for Port Malay on renewal and for Komodo on classic, kind of your tropical island sort of thing going. But that's something where, being one of the few places for high-level players to level besides Biolabs 4, it would be a good idea for us to make sure it's viable as a leveling spot for players. Fuyuki-kun asks, do you mind putting Kafra card as an item redeemable using the Eden merit badge? I think putting it in won't give harm since we have life insurance and tokens in there. Maybe the same rate as them, 5 Eden merit badges for 5 Kafra cards. Thanks. Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. You know, Kafra cards, it's not going to affect the balance of the game that much. We can definitely look into that for maybe within the next couple weeks. Yenko24 asks, costumes are getting to be more and more a part of the game. Would there be a quest that would allow you to customize what headgear is shown? I.e. allow you to have the Corsair sprite by turning one into an NPC. The main problem is that we're not able to choose on an individual basis what sprite shows up. Because the only way to change that would be to change the database entry to physically change what item it is that you have on your person. it would be very interesting to have a more customizable costume gear, but the logistics of making that work would be difficult. Suri Sector, that's one of the projects that Inubashiri and Section 9 are currently working on. The next version of No Spam will have improved protection against unwanted PM spam. Melly asks about the robe of caste. That was removed because it was dropped by a guild dungeon monster, a non-MVP monster. Nirvana 21 says, any news from the guys out back about various fixes for the pet system? Doesn't need to be a specific issue, just curious if dust collected on that area is 3 inches thick yet. For the pet system, I'm not sure exactly what problem. Is it that there are not more pets getting added, or is it that they're running away too fast? Because the intimacy is something that we actually have been talking internally about. Should pets go away, or should they have the chance to disappear at the same rate? Should they disappear at such a high rate? You know, if you forget to feed it for like a minute, you hear about the people where, you know, I got disconnected, I logged in 5 minutes later, my pet was gone and ran away. Like, almost every other game, mostly cosmetic pets are, you know, they don't really go away. You know, maybe you only get a buff from them if you have them at full intimacy or something, but it does kind of, it is a shame that, you know, these pets that you're supposed to treat like a pet kind of have such a high chance of just completely vanishing. So it's something that we can take a look at. Let's see, pouring, I got that. Let me pick up some gear on this character. I don't think I have... I don't think I have any money to warp. I think this character was created before we started getting the teleport coupons. Well, I guess I could walk. Alligator says, can we have more pets and more costumes? There are so many cute and cool monsters out there that would be awesome as pets. It's something that I think we would be able to request more of them. Might be a good idea to have a contest, or kind of like a, hey, what monsters would you like to see as pets thread on the forums in the suggestions area. Hey Oda, couldn't reply quick enough because I had to watch your Steam via VLC, but as frank to lack of updates on pet systems such as accessories, talking scripts, and the various bugs, For those, if you have a thread you can point to, we can report the broken ones up. Yeah, I'd have to say the pet system is not something that is very frequently updated. I think the most recent one is there were some Dewata monsters that became petable. But other than that, yeah, it's something that doesn't really change the balance of the game all that much, but could be a really nice thing for players. Edgar Pet would be fun. So actually, yeah, let me get that window captured. Alright, so Inabashiri has shared up a preview of, it'll probably be included in a new version of No Spam. You can see that here. This is the before of all the auras, and this is the after. So, you know, you can do slash effect and you can simplify auras, but this would allow you to sort of remove them without removing other things. So I think one of Inabashiri's projects, one of Section 9's projects, would be to be able to toggle what effects you see and don't see. So I think that'll be a great update to have. Look at that, I'm looking at my inventory too. Ah, Valk Pet. That reminds me of the Valkyrie Mercenary that we're supposed to get. That did not work out. Zazaza says Reno from the Eden Group compresses crystals one by one when you're changing them to a higher quality. As such, converting in bulk requires you to hit the enter key a lot. Was this intended? Also, can the global announcement for ARMT be changed to something on the lines of classic Oda dying on the inside every time you do that? Yeah, that is definitely a possibility. Yeah, new pets, not too difficult. New mercs, a little bit tougher. Yeah, it was supposed to happen for the RO Valkyrie Uprising co-marketing event thing. I don't think that even displays properly. I like the theme of Morak, even though it sounds like you're listening to a guitar concert from like half a mile away. This is pinching my head pretty badly, though. Yeah, we've done it for previous NPCs where you had to sort of turn them into the NPC one at a time or 5 at a time. So it is something we probably could do. Actually, one thing I would love to do Morok for a Destination Ragnarok video. I think it'd be very cool to show off the town. Uh, I don't think there's a lot of towns like this in California. Not a lot of Egyptian themed stuff, but I'll have to take a look around because I think that could be a lot of fun. Okay, so I've got the cursed armor. Not too shabby. Gives me a pretty good boost of stuff. Oops. I just can't move my head too far forward. New costume idea, cat ear headphones. I think you might have something there. That is not a bad idea. I mean, corded headsets are great. They have better sound quality, less expensive. But I like to get up and move around, you know, when I'm walking or something like that. It's nice to have wireless. Okay, let's see if I can sneak into Payon. Hey, I'm just looking to become an archer. Yeah. Tatarat asks, when's the upgraded Prontera coming out? You know what? That would be a good question to ask for the stream on Friday. I gotta find that thread. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen that post on our wiki, it's pretty spectacular. Yeah, Archer Skeleton is something that I will probably have to see about adding some more of. Hoy Carnage says, can we make all wearable monthly box drops worth 500 brownie points? There's no good reason why some of them are only 300, 400, while others are worth 500. You shouldn't have to turn in 4 boxes just to get one return from the boxer. Especially considering chances are very high she's just going to give you some of the same garbage you just turned in. Four crowded seats in a row is a little bit of a bummer. I'd have to ask Campator about the way that we calculate how much something is worth, but I'd be pretty sure that it's based on the rarity you know, has been in previous boxes. You know, how common was it in previous boxes? That sort of thing. Hey, don't worry, man. I'm leaving. No, I don't need to talk to you. Thanks. What a jerk. He disconnected me from the server. Let me put this up. Why? Yeah, I think strongman hair will be making its way to our server pretty soon. Okay, cursed ring, cursed armor. Now I just need some shoes. Nope, just want your warp pass. Let's see. Quanta. Why was there an enriched event this past week? I mean, it's been less than a month since the last one. The last one we did not have as many certs available, so a lot of people complained, hey, I don't have any certs. I can't take full advantage of this thing, so made certs more available. Had a, a tax rebate event. Also, are you going to comment on Zoe's thread regarding Classic Server? I did comment on the thread and said that we're working on Thor right now, but once that's done, I will be pushing the team to get those changes made on Classic Server, get some TLC for them. King Arthur says, will the RWC box that came in unannounced during last maintenance be staying or leaving during next maintenance this Wednesday? It'll be in for a couple more weeks. Shachi says, can the RWC Rally box stay till Thor server's up? The box will be available on Thor eventually. But it'll be in for a little bit longer. I don't know if we'll launch Thor server with the box available. Can you put Isabella ears for the next month's lucky crate? Definitely possible. Janius asked questions about the cards. With the exception of the Srofo card, we will be getting the missing cards that Pyro has that we do not with this maintenance. So that's like the Cendrawasi, Paris, Butoijo, the King Cray or King Dramo, Pot Doffley / Octopot, Sirava Wild Rider, Small or Mini Octopus Kraken, Giant Octopus, Black Coelacanth, Odd Coelacanth, Cruel Coelacanth, Queen Scarba. I think we may already have the gold Queen Scarba card in, but one of those was missing. It will no longer be missing. So those should be coming in this week for your hunting pleasure. Next question, will the equipment comparison update come with this, with the migration? I don't think we're getting it this time, but if Puro had it, we should be getting it soon. Okay, now I got the cursed shoes. Rookie Kitty says, I noticed that there was a lot of desync going on. I wonder, it happened today as well. I was wondering if they're going to fix random disconnection problems. We need as much information as you can give about when and where it happened, what map you're on, what time, and if you're getting a lot of latency. Like, the biggest thing is if it was server lag, if it was your connection between you and us, which I know that it happened for a lot of players in the Southeast Asia region, but it's a little bit better now, the reports have said. But if it's due to issues on the server, communicating with the server, that's something that we could do, that we would be able to look into further. So, yes, Tatterat, there are cursed shoes. Plus 200 HP, plus 10 SP recovery rate, 5% chance to drop fly wings when killing monsters. Pretty small chance, but yeah. The disadvantages of these are that they are fairly heavy shoes. They cannot be carded or upgraded. So, you know, we don't want them to be so powerful that you never want to switch to another pair of shoes. But this is equivalent to like the Eden Group quests to get equipment. There's numerous questions about differences between Iroh and Puro. Those changes were made such a long time ago, I can't necessarily recall why the changes were made on our server, but we can look at it. Payason asked about the Prontera costume pack, so I think we can bring that back sometime soon. Lazarus asked some questions. Lazarus asked some questions. Asked a lot of questions. For Lazarus's questions, let's see if I can quickly suggesting increased spawns in some maps that will Likely need for crafting materials like Bradium Golems for runes in Manic, and some maps where ingredients are hard to come by. Might be possible, yeah. Since memos are wiped, we have either free or reduced fee access on some important maps for easier access. We probably can provide free teleport coupons. I'll have to ask about that. Can we borrow this Janeway as well? Yes, we're going to have Janeway on Thor when it launches. So Pyro players who don't have, you know, characters that are level 99, or Chaos players or Classic players who want to get started on Thor, will have a chance to get caught up. Not entirely possible, but for the misc items that we have either be sold for 0 Zenny or just bind them for the time being just to prevent Zenny inflation. That's not a bad idea. You know, we're going through the items, removing them when we find ones that are especially egregious, or changing what value they NPC sell for. Is there a plan to wipe these slim regular potions and Mistel fruits along with the berries and other healing items that have been hoarded, if not reduced? May we have something in return, like an account-bound novice whites or blue pots of the sort? That I'm not sure about. I mean, healing items, I don't know if those are being removed necessarily. Slims maybe, but maybe not regular items. If anything, we could probably change the price that they vend for so people aren't selling them off for Zenny. Tadrad says, Oda, is there a guide for how to get the cursed gear? Also, are you planning on extending that gear quest further? Yes, we still don't have garments or headgear. The initial idea for the quest that, you know, we will be building on is like teaching new players, like, hey, you know, here's some gear when you're getting started on Classic. You know, even if Janeway goes away, this would be a quest that would stick in. Gives you some armor, you know, free basic armor with some pluses and minuses. And you would eventually be able to take that to an NPC to learn how upgrading and refining works, enchanting. So it would you could customize the armor a little bit more, although it's still not going to be as nice as, you know, armor that you actually have to get through monster drops and stuff like that. We don't want to get too much into like what happened with the Eden group on Chaos, where it's better than anything else you could get, but at least it would be something for new players to start off with that will definitely help out in the mid and early game. But yeah, we are planning on moving that further. But it's still currently in kind of the beta period, but you can pick up everything. Janeway is not ending yet. There will probably be a little overlap. So actually the Cursed Armor quest, I've been posting pretty much the walkthrough for the pretty simple quest. Let me get you a link to that. I'll have to make a page up on the website regarding that. But yeah, basically to start off the Cursed Armor quest is very simple. Let me show you. Once you're in Asgard Village, you're going to talk to Dr. Jones, and she will send you to Prontera. SoyMilk122 says, for the video guides, we have a event for, we're giving VIP to people who make classic video guides for YouTube. But the preference is to have edited, concise. I don't like when you go on YouTube and it's like, hey, here's a guide for doing something, and it's just a dude like typing on a notepad, like very slowly, just like goofing around and just like not getting to the point. Like I'd just rather read something actually. Yeah, so Innovasure, you just shared up the page for skill animation, slash effect, and player aura enhancements. So this would sort of address, like, you'd be able to see only the skill effects that you're doing. So you're not turning everything off, which can be extremely, you know, turning off all effects and not being able to see what your effects are doing kind of sucks. So it gives a little bit more freedom. So it would allow you to sort of tailor make what effects you want to see and when. All right, let's wind down on these questions. Think it'd be possible to change Warlock quest mobs in Splendid Field 2 to passive or reduce their numbers at least. It's a pain in the rump trying to level anything there when annoying quest nagas are constantly coming at you. If it's a distinct quest naga, that would be something more likely. We tend not to want to change the AI because that's something that usually gets overwritten when we have new care updates. But the amounts of the spawns might be something that we could change. This thing is just not in focus. NecroHeox says, can you take a look at the map server that houses Malaya maps? It's been borderline unplayable several days last week. I'm pretty sure this has to do with the fact that Balfour was moved to that server. Yeah, that is... It's something we can look at. I don't think we'd be able to make that change this week, but we can take a look at the traffic on those maps. Misery says, where's our preview of Puro headgears? That I will be working on this next week. And just how they're going to be made available. Also, what's your favorite Michael Jackson song, Oda? You know what? I'm pretty partial to the ones that are in Captain EO. I don't think I could play more than just a couple of seconds on it. Alright, any more than that, it'll probably detect what song that is. But yeah, just another part of me. I'd say that's probably my favorite one. It's got a great beat, but it's being part of Captain EO. The experience is pretty cool. Also, I think that's a cut that sounds very different from the one that's actually on the album. All right, moving into the home stretch here, I think. Milky Thief, any sneak peeks at the Pyro content we're going to be getting? Not yet. Sholin, when are you going to put in the Chain Lightning Severe Rainstorm fix? This is long overdue. We have reported it up. No ETA on that one yet. Shia, lag is still pretty bad during Woe 2 times for renewal. Is there anything else that can be done to resolve the lag issue? I've kind of explained some of the issues that we have with the bottlenecks there. Millie Bear says, will there be an option to transfer account to the new Thor server? No, not at this time. That's one of the reasons why we are adding Janeway, so you don't have to transfer. You can just create a character. Quanta says, any chance of getting Mercury Riser in an upcoming box or group pack? I don't think it's been around since September. Yeah. For that matter, is there a review process that looks at which items have been in packs recently and which ones have been missing for a while? We have that on Classic where we have sort of a request thread. It might be good to get one of those going for renewal, kind of like, hey, what has not been in for a while? You know, we usually don't talk about what's in the boxes until they're live, but it might still be a good idea for a thread to exist where people can suggest ones that they haven't seen in a while that they'd like to have come back. But that's the questions that I have. I'd like to thank you guys all for watching today. It's already 4 o'clock, so I got to get this uploaded and get to work on the rest of the stuff. First, we need the Goku hat. I absolutely agree. That should be made available ASAP, in my opinion. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please keep an eye out at Play Ragnarok for announcements about the live streams that we've got. These very cool people who are doing these live streams for RO Classic and Renewal server. Definitely appreciate that. And so we'll be broadcasting again on Friday. We're going to have the studio head of development for RO, maybe 1 or 2 other people, to answer some questions from the community about the game. We have a thread for you to ask questions, and we're gonna handpick kind of the best ones. They're the most answerable ones, the ones that will not cause an international incident ones. And so we'll be talking about that and doing an interview on Friday during our War Portal Weekly show at 5 p.m. So please do tune in for that. Soy Milk 122 says, later guys, will be live on Chaos with a giveaway stream later tonight. Going to be a quiz style one for prizes. So yeah, please do check that out. CH Pen will also have a live stream. The only thing I regret is that we can only host one account at a time. It's usually first come first serve, so I'll make sure to get the hosts and be retweeting when you guys go live. So again, thank you for watching. Aloha and have a wonderful weekend, or wonderful rest of the week. I'm looking forward to the weekend too much.